Yeah, my name's Dean, and people pay me money to do weird things with my mouth. And then I just like silent for like 10 seconds, and I went, beatboxing, here we go. Stuff. I remember like got all some amphetamines. It was easy for me as well because of the situation. I'm like in that zone where it's not like you're living in like a certain place where no one else does drugs or anything. It's like happening in my house. I come home and like the door will be kicked off the hinges and the house has been raided and stuff. Started doing it, slipped into it, started smoking heroin flat out. Got to remain positive all the time, right? And if you see the life in a positive way, positive things come to you. You're like a magnet, right?
Experience Real podcast.
I did a gig in the Aviva Stadium for Facebook in Ireland. On the Tuesday, I had like tonsillitis. On the Wednesday, this company rang me up. They said Beatboxer's gone AWOL. Can you be in Ireland on like Friday or whatever? I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I went and bought some Manuka, like smashed some antibiotics into me. And I was like, it was okay, but like, because I left early at like 5 a.m, got a plane out to Dublin, do the gig, smashed the gig. I was on like paracetamols and stuff, and I had a fever on stage. And I was sleeping in one of these like box rooms, you know, the boxes of the stadium.
Yeah.
I was sleeping in there, man. And then I said, Arthur, his name was, this like chaperone. I said, wake me up in the bed. And I woke up with this fever, and I was like, I just got to go and do it now. It's like a 15-minute like energizer, they call it. And have these big meetings, and I get them up, just get them beatboxing, wow them a bit, and then just shoot off. And I did the show. It was banging, smashed it, and then I was like, oh, nice one, guys. Back on the plane, back over. And then on the Friday night, that's when I went to Prince Charles. So it got worse and worse.
So you went there for 15 minutes?
Yeah, man. Banging money as well, like, yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's like corporate stuff's wicked, like, I love it. Yeah.
So they just literally, they're all sat around, they're all starting to lull off, they're about to go to sleep, they're getting bored, and you come in and
after lunch
solo
normally.
Party.
I said, what did I say on this one? I was trying to say something. I said, my name's Dean, and people pay me money to do weird things with my mouth. And then I just like silent for like 10 seconds, and I went, beatboxing, here we go. And jumped straight into it. And I did this Irish tourism conference, right? And Ireland had just beaten England on St. Patrick's Day for the Grand Slam. And I just thought I need to mention this, like I'll get him on side now. So I went up, I said, thanks for having me and stuff. But I just want to say, as a Welshman and a rugby fan, shout out to Ireland for like beating England on St. Patrick's. And everyone just got up and started clapping me like there was this sun, like. So the gig went amazing.
Do you have a Guinness hat on as well?
Yeah, could have. Like just like high-fiving people on the way out. But yeah, I haven't done nothing like that for ages. I had some good ones booked in before COVID, but like Luxembourg and all random ones, like MasterCard and that, but it's all good.
Cool,
like, they just went then, like, I just thought, gigging wise, I know a lot of people throughout the pandemic, they were just like, it's coming back. Boris said, like, in a week, it's going to, I'd just be like, don't worry, I'm not even going to think about it this year, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it would have been a waste of energy all the time, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's what it is. It breaks your spirit, man, up and down. It's another psychological thing about lockdowns. That's what they do, designed to break your spirit. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Just switch off. You know what I mean?
We're blessed where we are in the world as well, mate. Like,
yeah.
I can remember the first one, I went to go up Table Mountain, and they'd put like...
like lock a mountain off.
Yeah,
like,
honestly, it was like fucking red tape or something. Yeah. They said, don't go up here. And I was like, no.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's on my doorstep. Like, I'm going for a walk up there.
Come on, like, yeah. Like, people think these, like, COVID police were going to turn up your door and all, like...
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I was just like...
Don't have, like, 3 people in your house, man, because, like, they're going to knock your door, like, and be kicking it off the hinges and fining you, like, 10 grand. Like, who is? Like, where do these people come from? Like...
Yeah, I know, and to be honest, like, I bought into it for, like, a fair bit as well, and it's such a sad, like, time. Yeah. I feel really... feel sorry for people who are still in that zone.
Yeah. True.
Like, must be hell.
Do you know what? I generally, I know, like, hatred towards people. I just feel sorry for people, and people wake up towards it, like, do you know what I mean?
Same. I think it's happening.
I'm not like, I'm going to go or trying to take the mick out of people's, or, do you know what I mean? So-and-so does that. I just generally want more and more people to be like, aware of what's happening around us, and
just find a way to be happy, innit?
Picture, yeah. Just be happy in your own existence, and smile and feel good feelings, because that is what it's all about.
Yeah, we spoke about that before we come on, didn't we? Like, about just aiming to be happy.
Yeah.
Also, like, because that's I've spent like years, you know, I'm always like trying to find a money making idea and whatever.
Yeah,
like that.
true.
And then when I started this, I was like, this is the way, not to make money, but just like
have fun,
add
like value.
Just enjoy my life and just get down, speak to people who've got like inspiring stories, or someone who I think I can get something from, and the people watching can get something from.
Yeah.
Because I found like watching podcasts for me helped me loads, because I was you just getting a little insight on what someone else is thinking.
Yeah, true.
Especially if it's someone like you look up to or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
man.
like, that's how he did that. You know, sometimes there's usually more behind the scenes going on.
You can see that like that person's human as well. Like if it's like a celebrity or whatever, like actually you're like real life, you know, just like, you know what I mean? This thing that's been created in the media, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you getting up on stage or whatever, like that doesn't just happen. Like I feel like there's a lot that goes behind so much that. Behind
it, yeah.
Like in your mind as well, I bet you do so much on like to be able to be up there and just be like, boom, I'm a ball of energy for this time.
Do you know what my biggest point was, right? I did, I've always done DJing when I was like a teenager, and I beatbox and stuff. And then I was in the band for years, like I did like rap, so I had like good confidence in that. But my first beatbox, and then I did these open mics on beatboxing, and it was like a new thing really for me, like built up this confidence again, being on my own, doing stuff. And then I did my first professional gig, I think it was Butlins. I did like 2,500 people in Butlins, right? And I stood there, tell loads of people this story. I had the mic, it's like wireless mic, and I was like, I'm shaking, man. Why am I shaking? Like proper. And I went up and did the show. It was only 2 minutes, like smashed there. I got off stage and I had this big like realization moment that I spent so much time like overthinking and worrying about stuff. Now I'm just gonna like actually enjoy the moment, and that is an actual thing. Like I read last year, is called this survival mode. Like, and I've done it all the way through my life, and it's never up until like 10, 15 years ago. Survival mode for me is, do you know when you put yourself in a certain situation, your brain thinks about all the worst things that could happen. Like, so if I was a bit nervous coming down, I'd be like, what happens if like Joe's a bit weird or something, or what happens like, and if this movie plays out in my head, or then what happens if I like crashed, my tire went off on the way down, or do you know what I mean? And then you come to a realization, you've wasted so much energy in your life thinking about things that don't exist.
It's your brain like trying to protect yourself.
Make you comfy, man. Make you comfy. Do you know what I mean?
Years ago, like you would have been, maybe had a fear when you were going out getting your food or whatever.
Yeah,
like as a like primal man, you'd be looking to like maybe fend off like some fucking animal that's trying to kill you in the process.
You've got to be that thing, innit? It's scanning all the time.
So it's deep rooted in you. You're constantly like, where's the danger at?
Yeah.
Where's the danger at? I need to survive.
Yeah.
And sadly, like them dangers, well, not sadly, but them dangers aren't around now, but we're still wired that way.
Yeah, like, you probably get like some drunk bloke in a kebab shop, have a go, like, but don't really happen anymore unless you're drunk and in that sort of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go to the kebab shop, we're like R5, innit? Like a normal human, like, just like I'm grown up in that now. Like, it don't happen anymore, do it?
Public speaking is supposed to be one of the like scariest things to do, isn't it?
Do you know what you've got to do? Is thrive. Another thing which I do, I love it when it goes wrong. I thrive off when something goes wrong, when it goes weird or edgy. Do you know when you're chatting to someone and then you have that moment where you're both trying to think of something to say, and it's like, you like read, I love it, man. I think it's amazing, like, and that I just like, because you're able to like adapt to stuff, you're reflective of the situation, and you can be like, and you've probably noticed it from your first podcast to like, say, I watched the Jack Marshman one, the last one.
Yeah.
You probably like, if you're having them weird moments, you'll be able to just like, something pop into your head, or get in that flow and just, do you know what I mean? With the first one, you'd just be like, do you know what I mean?
Sweat.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Now you're just
time.
reactive. Just chill out about it. Like, so it's wicked. Like, I love being on stage is amazing. Like, so you can chat to random people, some weird person looking at you, or someone say something funny, just like pick it out. Don't worry about the show anymore. Like, just go with this energy because this feels good. People are going to remember this. Do you know what I mean?
Just let it be.
Beatbox into it, just say something random, see what happens. Do you know what I mean? If it don't go too well, like, they won't do that again, like, but, you know what I mean? It shows you're human as well, doesn't it? It's a good thing.
Got to live in the moment, haven't you? That's what I try to do with this. Like, when you're talking, I can think, right, I could say this, I could say this, I could say this. But by the time you finish, then this point you've made at the end,
Yeah.
if I say this, it makes absolutely no
Yeah,
sense.
got
But
you.
I'm holding on to this,
Yeah, yeah.
thinking like I got something good to say here,
man.
like,
Yeah,
and then
got you.
like by the time we get to
Yeah.
here, like that doesn't fucking mean anything
Yeah,
anymore. But I
true.
still want to say it because that's the only thing I thought of instead of actually listening to you the whole time.
Yeah, got you.
So,
yeah, I know the
like,
score, man.
You've got your set, but someone says something, like shouts something at you or whatever.
like
It'd
all
make
these
no
people-
sense for you to carry on
It's
with
all
it.
these people, man. I don't know. Like you know, people who like take cocaine and then like end up at like 4 o'clock in the morning in the kitchen telling each other stories. It's like everyone loves to like chat about it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, when's it my turn? Do you know what I mean? That's what people do. Some people like love to chat about themselves, but I'd rather like, you know, in this situation, I got to chat about myself. But I love to like listen to people and ask them questions, man, and just
So
bounce off them, and it's good.
it's hard skill though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like really,
It's
when
a
you
good
break it
skill.
down, sometimes
Yeah.
it's quite difficult to actually
Yeah.
get it. And like, I feel like every day is a work for me to try and get it. And I'm always looking at ways to,
Yeah.
and try to break down like the psychological side of it.
Yeah, got you.
Not just,
Body language and stuff, and
yeah.
yeah, there's loads, dude. I read quite a few books after Send Up New. They helped me out loads.
Yeah, sounds
Anything
good.
like that, like, do you know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
anyway, I think we should get into your story anyway.
Yes, please.
We
Let's
are
do it, man.
26 minutes in and we haven't touched
Are we just
it yet.
chatting random
Yeah,
stuff?
it's mad, isn't it? How much time flies. But
Yeah.
I think like last time you come in, obviously like I know you outside of this. Like
Yeah.
I'd say briefly probably. Like we bothered in like similar circles and
Yeah,
things
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
been out together years ago. But I know there's a lot you left out which you want to kind of talk about, innit?
Yeah,
So,
man, it's going to add value in some way, and like post stuff on social media and people message me and say thank you for that. Like, so I'm just like, I need to start talking more. So, yeah, man, where do I start? Childhood.
Start from the beginning, innit?
Children,
Let's,
childhood, Dren. Yeah, my thing when I was a kid, I had these. My old man, my mum and dad like split up, and at the time I was probably about 6 or something. Like, and at the time it was a bit of a weird one. And then when I got a bit later on in school, I started making these weird noises all the time and that, and like clearing my throat and doing these weird, like blinks and things. So I went to the doctors and they said, you got tics. Not like tics are like part of like Tourette's. So I put me on these tablets like diazepam or something crazy, like, and I was only like 10, which is madness. And then my mum said, "Oh, stop taking them now," like, and these tics would come and go. For me, that was like the first point of like, felt like something wasn't right. Like, recently I realised I used to have OCD as a kid as well, and I've got full on. I've never been diagnosed, but I've got Tourette's, so I shout stuff out. I know I've always done it ever since I was a kid now, like, and it changes. So that was my first really thing of thinking, like, overthinking things and like thinking, man, this is weird, but I haven't got the energy, or I'm not brave enough to like tell people what's happening. So yeah, that was the first thing. And then my old man had moved out, see him on the weekends and stuff, and then my old half brother moved in, and he was a proper wreckhead, man, like partying all the time and stuff. And then I got a middle brother, Lee, then as well, proper brother. And then yeah, he got into drugs, man, and dealing drugs, and I was only young.
the
Oh,
older.
Yeah,
one
older
now, like,
brother, yeah. And he kind of like crept in, like answering the door to like weirdos and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Or people ringing up and stuff. Is so and so in, or what's he got? And be like, I don't even know, man. I just got home from like primary school. Like, well, like, I'm gonna go and play football. Like, do you know what I mean? And then crept in, or I just like kind of like disliked the whole, very, very like sad about the situation, about life in general at that point. And like, it kind of got worse and worse. So for me, to have like the door, I come home and like the door be kicked off the hinges and the house being raided and stuff. Or I can't remember stuff, man. I kind of blocked a lot of it out, like, but
so opening them doors back up.
yeah,
for you,
yeah,
like,
don't bother me, like, but I just can't even remember. Like, yeah. So I started changing as a person. I would say like 11 or 12. Might be the like hormones and stuff, or it might be into like the situation and looking up to certain peers who I shouldn't have been looking up to. and I started to get like aggressive. And for me, being aggressive was like my defense mechanism. So started kind of like having fights with people all the time. So I went to like school. When I got secondary school, man, I just like, all I want to do is like scrap people all the time. Older boys, like, do you know what I mean? Straight in there, just like for a challenge and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's all I did throughout school. Like, wanted to fight people outside of school, fight people. And I was always kind of like anti-drugs, but would like get cans into us all the time. Started smoking cannabis then. I might be on 13 or 13 maybe.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh man, this is wicked. Like, makes me forget about things, because every drug or anything is an escape, like from emotional distress as a child or anything, or any point in your life, innit?
It's a blocker, innit?
It is, man. It just makes you go into a different place. If it's your body saying, I can't cope with my reality, like my thoughts are doing and making me like to the point really sad or whatever, do you know what I mean? I can't handle it. I'm going to take this, and it makes me forget. It makes me a different person for a bit. So yeah, started smoking cannabis, and did that like flat out for a good while. Like, I'd smoke it in school and stuff. Be wrecked out my head, coming back into science, like smoke.
Yeah.
But yeah, felt like I was escaping all the time, and I smoked it. I started smoking it more and more in like my own time, even when like other people weren't there. And I've only told about 2 people this, but when I was 14 or 15, I actually tried to commit suicide in my garage. I tied a rope to the rafters, chucked it around my head, jumped off I think there was a car in there or something, jumped off, was hanging there for about like 20 seconds, and then the rope snapped, man, because obviously it was like a thin rope, or then like a crap knot, like.
Yeah. So
but yeah, I didn't tell no one about it though. Like, I was just like in that thing. It's like, I don't know what it is. You're brought up to like, what are you on about? Like, don't talk about stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's that vibe. Like, I feel more people are being open about their feelings, and that's how you need to be. So yeah,
well,
that happened. Like, and then started like experimenting like amphetamines and stuff. I remember like got hold some amphetamines. It was easy for me as well because of the situation. I'm like in that zone where it's not like you're living in like a certain place where no one else does drugs or anything. It's like happening in my house, me growing up. Do you know what I mean? So
could we talk a little bit more about the attempted suicide just before we?
Oh yeah,
like,
go for it.
What was going on in your head like at the time?
I don't know. I think it's a lot to do with. I think do you know what? There's cannabis. I know a lot of people get a benefit out of it, don't they? And it just opens their mind up, and they're a bit more chill on that, but like you can get it where you're just like constantly on it, man, and you're constantly doing it. And I think it make me a bit psychotic, man, and makes people go a bit weird. I know loads of people that's happened to. Like,
that was the same for me, to be
honest.
honest.
I mean?
Like,
it's not good. Like,
I'd be walking home or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd just have like proper paranoia.
Yeah.
Like really
spinning
bad.
Out, spinning out. So yeah. As I was saying, it was to do with that, and it was to do with like stuff that's happening in my life, like, do you know what I mean? Pressures. Teenage years I always say this to anyone when I work in school. I said, dude, like, you're going through the most pressurized time in your life. You're changing from a child to an adult. Like, there's no book or manual on this as well. Like, and you got all people throwing stuff at you, putting pressures on you. You got like, you know, outside pressures with like fashion and like peer groups and stuff. You got school stuff. You got like, it's not too bad if you got like a nice stable home life and stuff. But if it's not like you're going home and it's like mental there as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're bouncing around there. You got hormones up in you.
I think
it's smashing around your head. Something wrong happens. You don't understand. You should just like step back and don't worry about it, and things will be okay. Do you know what I mean? You just be like thinking, overthinking bad stuff. Do you know what I mean? And then that's what happens. So yeah.
Well, I suppose that's obviously there's plenty of benefits coming out of your shit situation for kids going forward.
Yeah, man.
Which I think like you're very relatable.
I
to a
came
lot
out
of
of that
people.
garage and just carried on like normal, or just like I think I had like depression in a big way. Like, I know depression's thrown around a lot. Like, sometimes you're just a bit like down and you need to get some like vitamin D into you, like, and eat properly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or get out for a walk. But like, I had it bad, like
from trauma though as well.
To people, like, yeah, felt like I couldn't even get the words out. I haven't got the energy. I don't even want to like wake up. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's just something, I wasn't in that environment where I feel like I'd speak to people about it. So back in school on Monday, man. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever, or potching around in school, or messing around, or trying to have a scrap with someone again, like, because that's the character I built up, because I felt like I would get more respect by being that character, or I feel like secretly me trying to have fights with people was my pain coming out in a different way. Do you know what I mean? You don't realize it at the time, do you? Because you're not like, you haven't like researched it, or you're not looking back on your old self as a new character. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just me hurt. And I say this to every kid I work with in schools or whatever, like, or anything. I said, him like misbehaving or whatever, that's like, there's a problem somewhere, or something's happened. Or I met this dude in Ebervale the other day. I had to go to the printers to chat about business cards, and then this dude came up to me trying to sell me batteries and all, and I'm just like, man, I don't want to buy any batteries off you, and I haven't got no money, but like I said, like, I know why you're trying to sell me batteries. Like I said, you're on the gear and you're on drugs. And he went, nah. I said, you are, man. I know. I said, I told him about me, and then I said, like, what happened to you? Like, something's happened. And he said, I got abused when I was a kid. And I was like, dude, I said, I got to go to your happy place now, man. Think of your favorite, something which is going to make you happy and smile even when you're in the worst situation. You got to sink to that dream and then make yourself good again. Like, like I thought, I grabbed him for like a minute. Like, I just thought, I don't know if he'll just go off or whatever, carry on. But hopefully that moment I gave him might add some value somewhere, and he might be sitting there one day in his flat and think, what that dude said, I'm going to try it out. Like,
someone may never have ever even, because people are just like, fuck off.
Yeah, like that homeless person, like, why is he homeless? He can't cope with reality, dude. Do you know what I mean? That's why. Something's happened to him. Is it when, I don't know, whatever. I could be in the army and seen stuff and not being able to cope with it, or something happened to him when he was younger, man. And do you know what I mean? Don't think it can't be you or one of your family in the future. Just escaping his present reality, like, and that is his reality. And what he doesn't need is idiots like mouthing him off, or do you know what I mean? He needs love and care and positivity, and that's how you raise people up. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, mate, that's powerful. That's it's scary, isn't it? Like, seeing people in them situations, but obviously, like you said, something's happened somewhere along the way. You can only do so much. Like, you can't like take them in and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's not like possible, is it? But you can just. That is my way of like helping. Like, I'm gonna get my wallet out and give you like 500 quid and that. You know what's going to happen, don't you? But do you know what I mean? But like, I want to try and tell you something. It's going to add something, or just kind of like put it in a stop. Like, for a minute, let's get off this track you're on. Like, for that moment, you just probably sent him into a bit of a spin or a different direction. Different person, man. Yeah, who's gonna like actually care. You know what I mean? Not for me, not for like filming it for a YouTube channel. Like, just gave this homeless man some like Pepsi and some new shoes, guys. Like, and shit. Not about that vibe. Like, even though it's good, like he's getting something out of it, but like, just in your day-to-day life, I feel everyone needs to like, help people and just not even tell people you've done it. Just do it, man. Yeah. The thing is, I think as well, like, I don't know about you, but I feel like I can see pain, like, sometimes. Yeah, you can in people's eyes. It's like visible, like, when someone's speaking to me, I'm like, and sometimes I drop like little things in, like, what's the word? Like, not weaknesses, but like of my own. Yeah, got you. To like, you kind of bait it out of them, like, in a way, like a modeling thing, innit? It's like a teaching thing, isn't it? When you teach people, you got to like model it first. Show it's okay, and this is how you do it, and that's the same thing, like a psychology thing, man. I'll talk about it, tell you my weakness as well. Now, do you know what I mean? It's easier for you to come out then. Do you know what I mean? Because I can see the signs, like, I can see the signs, and I'm like, I'll drop a bit of me in, and then you bring yourself forward, and then like we can have this really open and honest chat, like, you know what I mean? Since I've been doing this, chuck it on YouTube. Not in here, like, I'm not talking about in here, like, it happens in here as well, but I have these chats like weekly with different people, do you know what I mean? And like, it may be someone who I haven't seen for years, and then I see him, but I can see, I think as well, from like, I'd say for me, like, the difference is between like 20 and 30, like, I'm in between there now, I'm 27, like, like, when you start losing your friends because people are doing whatever, you know what I mean? Everyone's like settling down on families or whatever. Yeah, true. I can see, like, and you quite haven't got your own direction or whatever, you can see
I feel like that's where a lot of struggle is, like for me personally,
Yeah,
and
man.
the people around me in my circles. Like I can see, like, where do I go from here? And yeah, it's just like identifying it. But back to you anyway. Let's we just
yeah. So I started doing like harder drugs then. Took I think I took ecstasy. I started doing stuff like that. Like that was a bit mental, and then started. What did I do? I don't know if I did cocaine right there. That was like later on. It's like expensive man's drug, and no one did it. Because my brothers were in that situation where they were both like addicted to drugs and stuff, heroin and mostly, and they were like, well, the one selling it. I found myself smoking heroin. I think I was 15 when I first smoked it.
really,
Yeah, man, it was like a one-off. I'd taken ecstasy at like a really late point in the night. And I don't know if anyone like ever knows, it's like it takes about 40 minutes to kick in and then it happens. So, yeah, man, it was just there and I was like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, and then didn't touch it then for like years and years. And then finished school. I was going to go into the Navy, I think I was going to do. And then college is different to school. There's no one like forcing you there, is it?
no,
So I kind of just like come home and just like play on Xbox instead. And that's when it started creeping in. It was like I had loads of time. I wasn't in a great place. I wasn't eating correctly. Like I wasn't feeding my body with the right stuff. And then started doing it. I slipped into it. Started smoking heroin flat out. Yeah, man, such a weird time. I managed to get out of it when I was 16. I moved to my dad's in like Newport. So I moved to Newport, got myself away. And my old man, like, he was always quite positive and stuff. Like, and he like, the biggest memory of him was like, I was living in his house, right? And this has stuck with me so much. Because like my mum, like I love her to bits, but like she's quite negative and stuff and focused on like negative things in life and that. But yeah, I'd like put my jumper in the washing machine and like put it on the wrong setting. You know when it like wool goes in at like 60, goes like small. I'm like, oh damn, like my jumper's ruined or like, and there's all like these marks on it. And my mum was just like, don't worry, we'll just like get a new one. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? Like
No.
for me, that was like the end of the world because I've been brought up to know like, oh, that's the end of the world, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no worries, we've got a washing machine. It's just like, oh, my shoes are like, my socks are all dirty and wet. Like, what am I going to do? Oh, no, like, just put them in the washing machine and just wash them, man. It's fine. Don't stress.
yeah,
And that's where I started getting into that vibe of that. That was my first real taste of like positivity. I met a good friend of mine. He's a hip hop DJ. So I was always into DJing. I had these Tourette's and stuff when I was a kid and these tics. And I became quite good at disguising my tics, right? All throughout my teenage years. The DJing, when I was 13, I bought some decks. I'd be flat out on the decks. Music was my savior, right? I'd be going to my room and just play music for like hours and stuff. And I was actually, just going back a little bit, I was actually in French lesson in Crickhowell High School. And one of my tics was this, right? I was going like a gulp. I go. No, a tic is like, no, when you go to a sneeze and you're like, and like someone spoils a sneeze for you. So like that energy needed to get out, man. Otherwise it's like the worst thing ever, right? And I was like just getting into DJ and I was like, and that was my fit. I was like, man, I can do like music with my mouth. Didn't know about beatboxing or hip hop until I was like 17, 18. So I started doing beatboxing, making little weird sounds. When I was in school with me, I was like doing like random, I'm going to step back, I do like little random stuff like that was my thing. Got 17, I met a good friend of mine, he's a hip hop DJ, and I just up sticks and moved to Torquay, went to like Plymouth College, did a sound engineering course, and just got into it more and more. Started like DJing like nights and stuff down there. It was wicked, but I was only 17. I felt I was quite grown up for my age, but it wasn't like feeding myself correctly. And I know what it's from. It's like I wasn't looking after myself. I was like eating crap food and then this like depression thing kicked back in there, and I'd be like want to sleep all the time and smoking weed again, flat out. And I dipped back into that thing. I rung my old man in the phone box one year. It was like 12, 15 months later, and I was like crying. I was like, "Oh, Dad, can you pick me up?" And he just came down straight away the next day, picked me up. And then we drove back, and he was like to come back to his house. And I was like, "Oh, no, like back to Mum's." And he was like, "Oh, okay." So I could tell he was like gutted and stuff. Like, but I went back to Mum's, but it was like a bad decision because it kind of like, my brother was eldest brother actually been caught. The house had been bust again, and he got to prison for like 8 years, I think he had, or something. And yeah, actually come home from when I was 15. One of the times when I was 15, I come home from like, I was doing like pot washing or something in like Lamwinner Farms or something random. I got home from like work, and it was like the doors all smashed off. I'm just like, what's happening? So like coppers in my house, and I've been on like dogs been on my bed. Or one time I was sleeping, I was on a nap, and it's like this dog came in the house and just, do you know what I mean? It's
wild
mad,
stuff,
man.
like,
It's
yeah.
like Wild West. But I couldn't tell no one about it. Like, I wouldn't tell no one about it. Do you know what I mean? Didn't want to show off about it because I didn't have to show off about it. Do you know what I mean?
You're embarrassed by it
I was
when you were younger.
completely embarrassed, man. I was probably the most embarrassed kid ever, like, because, you know,
Just walking
I
around
was,
like a sad
drug
boy then,
addicts, and,
like, or-
yeah, I was like, and I was just put on this facade, like, do you know what I mean? I couldn't tell. I was in like, I had a car crash when I was 15 as well. And then I just got out and walked home and like didn't tell no one. Like my mum was like 2 days later was like, "Oh, why didn't you tell me?" And I was just like, what was the need, like? Do you know what
just
I mean?
no care, like,
Broken
is it?
off, like,
Yeah.
yeah, absolute life sucked out of me. Now I think about it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I felt like there wasn't any need to even speak about it. So I came back, and then this is where I came back when I was 17, 18. I think it's 18 I came back, and then start again more and more into drugs more. And but it was like, it wasn't like an addiction then, it was just like escaping. I had like little random jobs in I worked in a betting shop for a while, and which is cool. Loved that, like chatting to like old blokes and have horses and all, do you know what I mean?
So you were like functioning.
Yeah, I was
as
a
well.
functioning addict really, because I was addicted, but yeah, and it was like get all the money in and buy drugs and stuff and wander around. And then at 21, my old man passed away. He had it's like heart disease and stuff in my family. He had a heart attack. I saw him the day before. Randomly, I just went down there. I walked in, and he was like in there. He was alcoholic as well. Like, not, he was like a functioning alcoholic, really. Like, you know, someone down the pub 6-7 nights a week, and they have like a bottle in the house as well. It was in the point where he's like going through bins and that for like vodka bottles, or like stealing. It was like that. You look back on it, he was, man, drinking there, and I just had like a really open chat with him. And then the next morning he passed away, like 6 a.m. So me and my brother both took it really bad, and that was it. Spiraled down. My man had like a house and like a pension and stuff, and we just had all this like money. It was like the worst time to give someone who's like
Broken.
very broken, can access drugs easily, and is not in a good place. And you have like a lot of money. So we just went on this mission. It was like escape. It was like level 1. Now we're gonna go up to like level 10 escaping. So when I started smoking crack cocaine, then that's a crazy drug, mental drug that is. Yeah, to have like binges on that, and be up for like 4 or 5 days. After like day 4 or 5, you're like seeing, hearing things. I'm like in my back garden, like stabbing bushes with a knife because I feel like someone's in the bush, or like hearing stuff. Or a good one was, I bought this Audi A4, 10 grand cash. I had so much cash, it was unreal, right? And well, this Audi A4, and it's gone down to my nan's house, and I'd pop in like and say, oh, what's happening and all. And then I went in the car, and it's just like started it up, and I was like, I'm tired, man. I fell asleep. I woke up because I looked at the watch. I woke back up. It's like an hour and a half later, and my foot had been on the accelerator. It was like, whoa! I know when the like oil thing, and it was all spinning out. It's like, whoa! my nan was like pretty deaf and stuff, so she didn't hear none of it. And she had a big house, a big drive. It was just like randomly revving.
Where were the neighbours? Like, they just
With no neighbours
No
for like
neigh-
a long time, man. So like, yeah, it's just
empty.
just man, nearly like ruined my car. Just let it cool down for a bit. It was all right. Audis are built like tanks, and but yeah, fill the petrol back up. Don't tell no one.
Fuck
But yeah, it just collapsed places, and then at the point, so like the heroin addiction got worse and worse. So then it was like I never injected nothing. I was always smoking it, right? And it was like these two things fighting against you, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And but I managed to function. Like, I think it's because I had like money and stuff, and was good at like keeping secrets and do you know what I mean? Like from people. Obviously, I probably look rough, but you know, other people look rough than if they haven't, you know.
Did you think at the time, like, I need to stop this at any point?
Yeah, I all the time. I knew it wasn't me, dude. And a lot of times I think, I'm just like sat waiting for some like idiot to bring some drugs out to you. Like, what am I doing my life? Like, wasting my time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or like the worst thing about any addiction like that is like the you know, like crack cocaine and stuff. It's like in your head addiction. Anyway, like cocaine addiction or weed. It's not like a physical addiction. It's in your head. It's your habit. Where like the opiate addiction is like, you're actually gonna be sick now, man, if you do not take this, and ill, like worst you've ever been. Like, so that would be like wake up in the morning and just feeling rough and just being like, man, do you know what I mean?
Need to keep going, like, really, is it? Just to keep yourself on top. Like,
yeah, you got to just keep buying, and it's like a spiral, like, do you know what I mean? I got to the point where can't remember what happened. I don't know. It's just like one day I was just like, I'm absolutely fed up this. I rung up Powers, Drugs and Alcohol or something. I would go to Brecon and have this like meeting with a doctor and all. And they put me on like counselling, and counselling I always thought like, what's counselling? This is like counselling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Counselling was just like chatting to someone who's like proper sound. I actually bumped into my counsellor in a play centre after about 15 years the other day as well. In the toilet after my daughter just weed through her pants, like so random. I was like, whoa, how's it going?
Do you remember?
Good chat with her. She did, yeah. She's amazing, yeah. Sam, shout out Sam if you're watching. So positive, like, and I just like these little chats were feeling good, and I like stuff off my chest, and have someone like tell you like things are all good, like, and so yeah, start this program. You do like a methadone program. I don't know if you know, it's like a substitute, and then you bring yourself off like any sort of drug, and then you're on this one, and then you can bring it down like in a controlled manner, and then come off there originally. But yeah, that was it. My biggest thing though was during this time making this transition, still working in the betting shop, right? And I think I just got jumped by someone, and face was like split open, my like arms all broken, my knuckles were all like smashed up, and I was just sat in the betting shop, like, and this dude I started working with, his name was Steve, right? And he said like, what are you doing here? Like, how come you're here? And I said, no, I just thought I'd come into work, like. And he said, we was chatting about stuff, he was chatting about music, and he said, Dean, man, I need to tell you about this book. I said, oh, what book's that? And he said, oh, it's called The Secret. I said, I'm not really into like reading stuff like fiction and that, man. I'm more like, I'll read like a magazine or whatever. He said, oh no, you need to go and buy this book now. Go and do it from like Waterstones or whatever. So I went and found it. The Secret by Rona Martin. It was this book. I started reading it, and it's about struggle to like concentrate at the start, but it's like kind of about how you got to remain positive all the time, right? And if you see the life in a positive way, positive things come to you. You're like a magnet, right? So I started doing it. I wasn't doing it correctly at the start, but my life started changing so much. Like, more positive it was, the more good things would happen, and it takes time to you know, it's like a transition from your character. I gone from a character of being this kid, a bit sketchy, embarrassed, ticky and stuff, to this teenage character of being aggressive and stuff, and do you know what I mean, taking drugs and just being an absolute idiot, like, to my late teens, early 20s of being this like drug taking, escaping character, struggling with like, you know, everything to do in life. To then this character of transitioning to this like positive person. So yeah, I had some good little thinking moments there, and I really like that was my waking up moment. That was I say about waking up moment. I had loads of little moments about life and death. As a kid, I grew up like fearing death and think it's the worst thing ever. It just ends. Death for me is like you just move. I know my dad is like somewhere. It's kind of like he's emigrated to Australia. I haven't got the money to get over there yet, but one day I'll be over there and we can chill and see each other. And death, everyone is energy, man. You just move to a different place. So he is like heaven or whatever you call it. He's just like a different dimension, chilling somewhere else, living a new life.
Yeah, it's a good way to like look at it.
That's the way to look at it, because you know everything is limitless in it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Energy can't be stopped, can it? Do you know what I mean?
No.
If you make a fire now, if I burn some paper, the paper from my energy goes into fire, then flames go into like heat. Do you know what I mean? It just transfers, and now it's everything. So
I definitely believe there's like energy we can't see.
it is, dude. Yeah.
I think it's proven by science anyway.
Yeah, man.
At this point, like there's dimensions that we can't see
true.
or feel. Because like what is like wind in it, for instance, like you can't see that unless it's moving something that you can see. And then
you get to the point though, Joe, you can't think about it too much because it spins you out.
The thing that spins me out is when like I'm like, fucking hell, I haven't thought about them for ages. I wonder what they're up to, and they come around the corner. That is not.
Do you know what that is? The universe. Like, that is your like. So another thing as well, right? Like my main, I like to chat about my past, and I feel like some people might be seeing it and thinking, "Oh, brilliant!" Like I've gone through the same thing or whatever, and like anybody can message me at any point and chat about that. But the secret thing, right, it's like the biggest. It is a secret because no one's been brought up on it. The whole basis is this, right, which I've learned further on, and I willed for stuff. I willed for my own family, meet an amazing person who would become my wife. That was my like initial. Then I'd be like, I want to be like a musician and travel around. I want to like counsel people and teach people stuff, and do you know what I mean? And like I've always done it, right? And it's always worked out. And but I've gone into like turbo level, the secret or whatever it is, or like the law of attraction we call it. Yeah, you've got to feel as if though it's already happened, right? And so my biggest thing is like, say if I've got an ambition, it could be like, oh, I want to play in the Royal Albert Hall. Do you know what I mean? Which I have done. Been really lucky to do stuff like that. But before I do it, I've got to put into my mind that how would it feel if I'd done that? What would I be feeling like? I'd be feeling real grateful and just feeling overwhelmed and happy. So I just feel that feeling before it's happened. I'm just like, oh man, it's wicked, like amazing, like it feels lush. And I chat to myself about it, and stuff happens, man. You like synchronize. Then you're saying about you talking about people and they just pop up. Yeah, you do. Just like you can. It's like a computer game. You're in complete control of what you do by your thoughts and your emotions. And if you think badly and you feel badly, bad things are drawn into your life. If you feel good about stuff, it's like you just like skip through life like a. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a wizard in the field. Like
you're not creating, you.
Yeah.
Like I had this moment a little while back. Went down to like the Clarence Hall to vote or whatever. You know, you vote like every so many. I don't even know, like year, month, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was in there with my missus, and I was like looking at the lighting and the stage, and I was like, oh, I want to do like a live podcast type show
down there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, but I didn't really think like too much into it. And then like 2 days later, a phone call off a guy from Boxer from down Swansea who I've had on. He's like, I want to do a live show, like, and talk about my life in full detail with a crowd. Yeah. And I was just like, that's
man, it's madness.
You're going around and you're doing it accidentally.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, you've got to dream big, because if you don't, it isn't going to happen. Like, you've got to imagine it. And like you said, you've actually got to be it. Like, you can't just...
you've got to be that character. Do you know, the biggest thing is not giving it too much emphasis, or do you know when you're going at it with, like, desperation? That is when it doesn't happen, because you create this resistance, man, for it to come into your life. So if you was like, oh, I want to do this show in the Clarence Hall, oh, damn, I need to ring someone, oh, I need to speak to someone. Just be like, oh, I'm going to do this show. I know it's going to happen because I felt it happen already. So it's already created. It's going to come to me. I'm just gonna let it happen. I'm not gonna be like lazy and stuff. I'll like still do things about it, but like things will be opportunities. Life is like a river, man. It flows. You can grab that opportunity and go with it. And what's it to be fearful of? Like, just be brave and do stuff.
If you're going to do it anyway as well, like you said about going up on that stage in Butlins and you were shaking.
Yeah.
Like, if you were going to go up there and do it anyway, you may as well, like, fill yourself with the confidence to do it, because you're going to do it anyway, aren't you? That's what I'm like when I'm doing this. I used to, like, I used to get nervous and stuff doing this. And now I've just got to the point, like, you're doing it anyway. Yeah. Do it as best as you can.
Now, though, like, you've built that character now.
Yeah, it's Joe practice Robbins, as well, isn't it?
Podcaster. Do you know what I mean? It's you. So when the more you do it, the more it's comfortable. Like, do you know what I mean? And the more you just, like, you could just, like, at the start, it might be hard to, like, get people on or whatever or something. And then, like, I bet now it's just like, oh, so-and-so, do you want to do this? Yeah, man. Okay.
It's getting more like that. Yeah. And it's
flow-based rather than, like,
I can struggling. It sounds mad as well. Obviously, I prepare, like, for certain guests and things, but a lot of the time, I make sure to pick people who I kind of feel like I kind of know as such. Yeah. Because I'm actually into what they're doing. Yeah. So then I can just turn up and have fun.
Chat about stuff.
You know what I mean? That's what, and just live more in the moment, because I think if you're too scripted, like, it's like, I don't want to be like interviewing you.
Yeah.
So Dean, what did you do next?
Yeah, and you've got like loads of like papers and that in front of you, like a newsreader.
Like,
hang on, I was going to ask you on certain orders and stuff. People like that, right? I know from like teaching workshops, people try and keep to the script too much, and it goes weird. You got to go with the flow. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. When I first started teaching, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just freestyle, do a bit of beatboxing. Any questions? And then I'd be like, wow, I've got like 30 minutes to like film, man. I'm getting paid for this. And then I just learn stuff as you go along. Do you know what I mean? And ask people what works and do you know what I mean? And if someone wants to chat about, like, I don't know, their cousin used to be a beatboxer. Oh, cool. What's his name, man? It's like, you do a beatbox or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So just go with it and
just leads you into a different place.
Yeah, just go off on one, man, and just see where it goes. And
I had Andy Powell in here, right? And that was,
I watched that one. Yeah, cool.
My worst. I feel like that's my worst podcast.
He used to come in the betting shop. He did years ago.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, by the sound, he loves it. But
sound,
like, we had some good like gems come out of it.
Yeah,
as in like clips and things like that. Yeah. But it was like, I just wasn't in the moment. Awkward, like that was like, for me, I was interviewing him and I just took it way too seriously.
Yeah, got you.
And I wasn't just living in the moment and having fun with it. And like,
he's a big dude though, isn't he?
He's a big guy. Yeah, he made me look like a midget.
Yeah, it's like Andy.
And like, he's a character. Do you know what I mean? But I play it completely different now.
Yeah,
like,
got you.
Because me and Dan spoke about it afterwards, and I was like, that was awkward as fuck, wasn't it? Because Dan was in here, right?
Got you.
And he was like, well, yeah, a bit. And I was like, what I need to do, like, from that moment on, I just realised, like, I'm in here. I don't know fuck all about rugby. Like, do you know what I mean? I've got him here because he's a character.
Yeah.
But I like, we all know about life. We all live life.
Yeah.
So let's just talk to people about that from now on. And like, instead of like going solely in on what you do, like, we're not here to talk about, like, we'll talk about your beatboxing and things. It's who you are and your character. But it's like, I don't want to know how you make a sound.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's like your thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. True.
So I'm here to talk about life, not that so much.
Yeah. What was that?
I don't know. What's going on over there?
Accessing.
2 seconds, mate.
You want to call a cut?
Yeah. Right, here we are. I'll know now if he's not editing properly, if he doesn't go back and
cameras,
chop
it's a test.
It's a test, mate.
It's a
test.
Yeah, man. Technology. What were we saying?
Don't know. But there we are, mate. I'm glad we talked about just living in the moment and making mistakes anyway.
Yeah, true. Yeah, just adapt and evolve all the time, Joe. And it's got to go with it. So
I think we were you.
I can't even remember. What we
in schools and improvising. I think we were around
improvising. There, learning things as we go and growing. Like as a, like not being. When I first started beatboxing professionally, I had this like ego thing started kicking on me. Ego is the biggest thing you got to release in your life, like, and recognize when it's happening. There's a big ego. I was like, oh, I'm beatboxing now, and I'm like, oh, professional. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's the thing you got to get rid of, because when you act like that, good things don't happen for you. So it's about staying humble and, do you know what I mean? And
it's crazy.
Letting other people show off about stuff, like, and just, you do want to show off, just like drop it in there, like.
It's crazy divide though, innit, between like when you were younger, like you felt like worthless or whatever when you're younger, and then you've got to transform into this confident character to do your thing, and then it's so hard to find that middle ground, I'd imagine, innit?
Yeah,
because you're trying to feel like you're worthy, but when you truly feel like you're worthy, you don't have to brag about it. Don't fake you.
Yeah, and it's the same with you always get that thing in there, like, you know, these brash, loud people, mouthy people who like bullies and that, like they're not the ones who are hard, are they? Like,
Yeah.
I've always found that throughout life, like, do you know what I mean?
So,
They're not the ones who like you got to watch out for, like. It's very, very true. Like, it's people who just like go about their day and do stuff, and that's the ones you don't want to bump into and mess around with. Do you know what I mean?
Real confidence, is like something you haven't got to say.
Yeah.
You feel it, don't you?
Yeah, true.
Like, I've always found, like, when I'm unconfident, I'll say something stupid because I'm just trying to like get my point across, trying to be busy, trying to like show off or whatever. Whereas when you feel really, and to be honest with you, I'm in and out of that. All the time. It's not like something I've like nailed on. This switch off. This is my standard.
Yeah.
I'm like 4 different people a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's about recognizing though, like, it's the same with that law of attractions thing, man. Recognizing, training yourself to recognize when you're having the negative thoughts. I become really good at that now.
Yeah.
I just be like, Dean, that's within a minute or so, like, what are you doing? Cool. Chuck some nice music on. I just listen to like Bach or something. Do you know what I mean? Like proper like classical music. That's my vibe. I stick that on. Elevates me. Some good thoughts, feelings. Do you know what I mean? And get back into it. And it's about same with the character thing, ego. Recognizing that, just take a step back and just be like, it's all good. How can I help? Do you know what I mean? It's not about me. It's about gratitude and feeling good.
Certain things, like, I don't know about you now, but trying to live like in this positive way or whatever. Like you said, when a thought comes in, I try to attach a meaning to it and then send it out, send it away. Like the meditation side of things, that is really in it in a way.
Yeah.
But with music, like you said, I try to listen to like positive things that keep me upbeat and stuff throughout the day. I used to listen to like dark rap. And I can't actually. Yeah. Sometimes I can't even listen to it now because I'm like,
you recognize
it. Takes me back to like when I'm 15. I got my hood up and I'm smoking a fag, like
angry and stuff.
I don't want that. Like,
dude, makes you. It's an energy, right? Everything is energy in it. Do you know what I mean? And some energies would be like when you raise your energy and you can see it, not like see it literally, but you can feel it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh man, I can't handle this room. It feels weird. Or do you ever like speak to people and just be like, you know, I'm trying, but like, it's just not happening. Like, I'd rather not be around you.
I need to get out.
And being brave, right? And a lot of people, especially when you're growing up, you can't take yourselves out of situations. Now I just be like, realize like I don't have to be like actually, it's not about being polite and stuff. I'm just gonna like do what I need to do. I don't have to bother with you. I'm gonna change my circle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Things like you do change your circles and your circles change you. My old boss on the building used to say that to me. I used to think he was chatting like absolute trash. What are you on about? Like,
I got my own mind.
Spieling off things like change your circles. It's so true, man. Stop bothering with like people who are going to elevate you, then elevate yourself. Do you know what I mean? Or
it's like when you were younger and you were a kid and you're in the household with it all around you. That's a normal situation for you then, isn't it? So you don't see it as like me. If I was thrown into that situation from never being around that, I'd be like, this is fucking mental.
Yeah, because you would, wouldn't you? Yeah,
it's perception, not,
yeah. First 70 years of your life, you know, I was chatting about this before, I don't know, but like that's when your character is built, your subconscious character is built. So if you got people being negative around you, if something's happened, or your you know, your look on life is someone else's, like a peer or something, then that's how you're going to be. And then you've got another 7 years, right, your teenage years. So unfortunate for me, both of them are quite fucked, really. Like, so by the time I get my 20s, which is like when you got to start growing up and doing stuff, I'm ruined, man. Absolutely ruined, because I'm dealt with stuff from when I was like 6 or 7 or whatever, do you know what I mean? And then I spiraled onto the like 10 thing, and it just kept spiraling and spiraling. It took me like, I'd say 23 was when I really like started waking up and started dealing with things and had the counselling and stuff. And, you know what I mean? I missed out on so many years, but you know, that's not a negative. I take it as a positive, because if I hadn't gone through that, then I wouldn't be where I am today. I might be just like, not like, you know,
you could still be in it, mate.
Not set on that way. Some people
you could
are
still
sad,
be in it,
you know,
like I feel like for every down people have in life, I feel like it's a springboard up if you use it correctly.
Yeah,
because you've got such a perspective, a wide perspective on life as well. The people like I'm not going to have your perspective ever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you've learned so many lessons that I haven't learned and may never learn through your experience.
Yeah.
And like, that's the only true way. And you can, like, I can hear you talking about it, and you, like when I'm listening to you talk, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing. Like I'm trying to feel the emotion.
So these
like,
little movies play in your head and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I'm like,
you know, some people don't. That's a random fact, right? I was doing a workshop the other week, and this woman said, I can't see pictures or like movies in my head when I like think of stuff. I said, what do you mean? She says, like an actual thing. A lot of people know. If you said to me, Dean, right, I walked down to the Clarence Hall the other week, like, and to vote, I've already imagined the Clarence Hall in my head because I know the place, and imagine you walking in there, it's like this movie's playing. Some people don't get that.
I reckon it's like 50% or 60%.
Struggle, like, like that is like, I could make up a story now and a movie would play in my head. Like, give me like a character and like an animal.
It's fucking put me on the spot.
Put you on the spot.
Pinky in the Brain. Do you know who they are?
Oh,
do you ever watch that?
Yeah. Pinky in the Brain, like jet skiing on Langorse Lake.
That's literally like
7 wizards climbing off a ladder out of a spaceship. Do you know what I mean? Just some random. I've got a creative brain, like it's always been a bit numbed growing up, like, but it's there now. I come up with so much random stuff, and I've seen that film in my head already. If I had like a team of people around me, I'd like make a cartoon out of it now. Like, but
I can see it happening though. Do you know what I mean? I'm exactly the same.
Wicked.
I can see the movie. But yeah, that's crazy that some people don't have that, because I feel like
everyone's built differently, and if everyone was a creative, then you know, some people got to be certain ways in there. So society works, and otherwise it collapse in a certain way. And if everyone wanted to just make bangers and do podcasts, like,
that's true, mate.
Entertainers, like,
I walk around like sometimes though, and you hold other people to how you think.
Yeah,
don't you? Like I always used to do it. I used to think. I had this conversation with Jack Marshman a little bit about. I was saying, you know, I'll openly admit, like, I used to be a wanker when I was on the piss or whatever, be fighting, whatever. He'd say the same.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I hope people who watch this maybe see like there's a different side now.
Yeah.
But then also we've got to carry that same energy when we're looking at other people. We can't just think, wankers or whatever from years ago. You've got to look at them like maybe they've had this crazy awakening that's changed everything for them as well.
Do you know a big skill for me? To work with anyone, if anyone wants to try it, right? If anyone's trying to like bait you or like pee you off or something negative comes in, like, just feel sorry for them straight away. Just wonder why, like, what's gone wrong with you? Like, it's the best way to like flip it straight away. Like, that's for me. But yeah, you know, like fighting and stuff. A lot of people around here probably know me for that, or, you know, apologies to anybody that's ever happened. And, you know, that is not me. That was a different character. Was just a young child, like, not knowing anything about life growing up. So much pressure on my shoulders. So, apologies, people.
No, it's good though for people to know, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I feel like when we're younger, we all do things we look back on with regret and stuff. Anyway, innit?
Yeah, true.
Like you said, now you can identify where it's all coming from.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I speak to people who are many years older than us who haven't really even like. You're just living in autopilot, aren't you?
Yeah, reacting to your environment all the time.
To be able to like sit back and actually analyze like who you are and why you've done it.
Yeah.
Like that's the only way you're going to change moving forward, isn't it?
True. Very true, man.
That's why I think last time maybe you weren't ready to come and do this, but like this last year you've probably had even more realizations and things, haven't you?
Do you know, lockdown for me was like amazing. I enjoyed it because I was business-wise, being self-employed, like, doing the performances, but also teaching. I jumped into teaching like full hog in 2014, and it built up and did really, really well. But I found myself before lockdown, I was still making really good money, but I'm like chasing cash, chasing that money, chasing the projects. Do you know what I mean? And it burnt me out a lot. Like, I feel like to do that sepsis thing. I'm just burnt out because I'm like it's like workaholic thing, man. My buzz is like that, do you know what I mean? But for me, lockdown was like, whoa, take a step back. And it was like March 2020, 2019 or whatever it was, 2019? 2020, yeah. And I had like all my work taken away, education stuff, and I'd just be like, there's 2 ways I can go, like practice while you preach or start spinning out. I just thought, man, I'm just going to chill out and smile. And then within like a day or two, like, someone's like, oh, actually, because you signed up to this one, we're going to give you like $3,000. You don't have to worry about it. And then by the end of the month, it was like, I actually made more money if I wasn't thinking I actually made more money over lockdown than I would normally running around, just by being like, I feel like that's come from being chilled. Like, it's not about, not boasting or nothing. It's just like I went in with a different attitude. Cool, I'm going to stay chill. This is what I want to do. This is what's happened. Felt like it's happened already, so it's going to come. Don't know what's going to come. It's going to...
You narrow your sight.
Yeah.
Like when you're focused on what you're doing, other opportunities aren't open for you, are they? Because you can't even see them. Like,
I wasn't reacting anymore, dude. I was just like, time to think. And then this is where my thinking thing came in. I was like, I need to start doing some good now. Like, I've got a story. Like, my missus always said, you need to like write a book one day, because there's loads of other random stuff that's happened. But I'm gonna start using this to add value to people, because someone said to me before, like, oh, that's inspiring. Like, do you know what I mean? People take stuff from it, and if they can take some positive from it, then that's good. Same thing with the like tics and Tourette's thing. I do these things with like Tourette's Association, and I just chat about how my beatboxing has helped me channel that energy in a different way. And then I started remembering stuff like the OCD when I was a kid. I was like, flick the light switch, I'd have to like press things, everything need to be like equal, like even numbers, or I'd do these random things. I just remembered because I wasn't like in that rat race anymore, so I started remembering stuff and be like, oh right, that's a story I can start telling people now and add value to people. So yeah, it's wicked. And now I'm in that position where kind of like govern everything now, leveling up with a started Beat Technique Limited, going for the big guns now, going all in, man.
Right. I can't wait to see it all. It's going to be great.
It's wicked. Like,
Experience Real Podcast.